Aegis Moto Adventures is taking its last surviving matriarch on a bucket list tour of Florida. Join us as we go to the Keys and head up the East Coast. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hey, in today's video we're going to head down to Key West and spend the day there checking out the sights. I've been there a couple times before and it's really cool, but my mother has never been in the Keys before, so I think she's in for a big surprise. The Overseas Railroad operated from 1912 to 1935. In 1935, sections of the railroad were destroyed by the Labor Day hurricane. The Overseas Highway was constructed in 1938 using the railroad bridges as a platform for the single-lane road that spanned the route from Miami to Key West. Today you can still see remnants of the road, some of which are still in use for recreational use. Key West at one time was basically a remote, out-of-the-way outpost in the Florida Keys. Today it is known for its tourism, fun in the sun, boating, and its crazy nightlife with a rich historical background. Key West has a historic district that contains 187 historic buildings and homes. Some of the notable places include Sloppy Joe's Bar, the Hemingway House, the Southernmost House, and the Little White House. Museums include the Mel Fisher Maritime Heritage Museum, Museum of Art and History, and the Shipwreck Museum. Our first stop this morning is going to be the Mel Fisher Maritime Museum, where they document how he found the Atocha in a salvage operation for treasure. It's pretty cool. The Mel Fisher Museum did not allow filming inside, but they did allow pictures. So what I've done is I've taken pictures the best I could with the lighting given. The lighting inside the museum uses a lot of spotlights, and if you set the camera for the spotlights, it will come out odd. And then if you reduce the aperture so that you can get good photographs that aren't overexposed, then you're taking a picture too slowly and it'll tend to fuzz up a little bit and be slightly out of focus. So hopefully these pictures will give you a good idea of what the museum is about, but I would highly encourage you to go ahead and visit because it's extremely interesting, at points tragic, but the treasures and history that they found is just absolutely fascinating. Across the street from the Mel Fisher Museum is a Museum of Art. This is an iconic building here in Key West, Florida, and it's just absolutely a beautiful building. No visit to Key West is complete unless you walk along the waterfront. It's not uncommon to see multi-million-dollar yachts or sailboats docked here. It's just absolutely beautiful water, sunny skies, and opulent lifestyles. I have a fondness for old-style sailboats, and this two-masted schooner was an absolute beauty. At night, everyone gravitates toward Mallory Square to watch the street performers and see the sunset. Here we take a walk down Duval Street. Duval Street is the main drag where all the shops and touristy type things are located. It's worth taking a walk the full length of Duval Street to see all that Key West has.
To hear you say you're gonna give me everything. No, I love the trouble when
I had warned my mother that you might see things in Key West that you wouldn't necessarily see anywhere else, and this Garden of Eden bar kind of gives you a hint to what you might see out and about walking the streets in Key West. Lo and behold, my warning rang true. My mom saw something that you wouldn't see in her hometown. She took it like a champ, though, without too much of a fuss. This concrete monument marks the most southern point of the United States. It's become such a tourist attraction that people line up there to take pictures with it, making it almost impossible to get a picture unless you're willing to wait for quite some time. During World War II, the sand on Key West Beach was removed to help build runways. That sand was eventually replaced, but I don't think the Key West Beach is quite the way it used to be. Though it still gets used quite a bit, I just don't think it's as big as it used to be before World War II.
Some wild chickens. I was actually trying to film that cool cactus up here.
We cut our stay in Key West short by just a little bit because of Mom's tumble at the Hemingway House. But we still got to see a considerable amount in Key West, and we headed back up Highway 1 on the Overseas Highway. The pictures and film that you're seeing now are of the Florida Straits, which is the water between the Keys and Cuba. I find it fascinating, and you can see it in this clip, that when they did the Overseas Highway to single lane, they actually placed it on top of the spans instead of at the railroad bed area. And it looks a little hairy to me here in the midsection where it kind of humps up and over that middle span. Driving a car across that must have been kind of harrowing. Because the Keys are so low to sea level, hurricanes are a big threat to them. And when Irma went through, there was a considerable amount of damage to the Western Keys. And that was a big storm that caused a lot of damage. He still didn't say it right. Shoot.
Peace, love, and hogfish. That's why I said.
Well, we got a big chuckle of trying to pronounce Isla Morada, but it really makes more sense when you pronounce it in its Spanish origins of Isla Morada. What a wonderful day we've had, but everybody's getting tired and it's time to call it quits. I'm going to show you where we went today. We started out in Marathon Key here and then went all the way down to Key West, spent the morning, early afternoon there, and then we drove all the way back out here to Florida City. And then tomorrow we're going to head up the East Coast. Well, we had a great day today, but it wasn't without incident. Unfortunately, my mom took a tumble and gave herself a little bit of tear on her right cheek, but I think she's going to be okay. I think it's just a minor injury, and everything will be okay, and tomorrow we'll get right back at it. Have a good evening. Take care.